Sussex now. Do you remember that awful moment earlier in the year that will go down as one of the worst of 2025 when Meghan Markle was berating one of her so-called BFFs, Mindy Kaling, who indeed she really didn't know? Well, all of a sudden, Harry seems to have done a total reversal on that. Because on this bizarre boys' trip with Nacho Figueras before Christmas, without the children, without Meghan Markle, with a lot of performance-enhancing substitutes, all legal, of course, I am sure, seeming to be consumed, Harry has decided no, despite everything his wife has said, he's not going to be known as Harry Sussex on the polo pitch, but rather Harry Wales, just like his big bro. Watch the evidence.
I was trying to short interview. Please welcome Harry Wales! Harry Wales!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please welcome onto the podium the runners-up of the 2025 St. Regis World Snow Polo Championships. Please give it up for Aspen Valley Polo Club, Harry Wales, Grant Gansey and Nick Roldan.
Huge crowds.
Oh, they all wanted to see him, Tash.
Getting a little bit nippy. Yep, there they are. Oh, careful, careful, Nick. Careful.
Sure, there's ways Harry will deal with.
And of course, Kelly again presenting the prizes. Thank you very much, Kelly Jekyll. Ladies and gentlemen, come on. Let's get some complaints here from the neighbours. Aspen Valley Polo Club, Harry Wales, Grant Gansey and Nick Roldan. Yeah, like you mean it. Like you really mean it.
Oh, I'm cringing so hard. But Harry didn't do anything to correct the record there. And Tash, as you say, Harry was called Harry Wales when his father was the Prince of Wales. Now Prince William is the Prince of Wales. His children, Princes George and Louis and Princess Charlotte, are known as Wales. I honestly believe he is doing it to be petty and to further provoke his brother. That would be extraordinary, Tash.
It's true. What other purpose? I mean, these people...
Well, can I put one theory out?
Yeah. Go on.
To humiliate his wife? To prove that actually, in public, he does sometimes want to go against her? Do you remember that podcast earlier in the year when he's like, I think parents really are responsible if they put their children on social media at all? I just think we're seeing the splits in public more and more. But I also understand what you're saying too.
Yeah, I mean, I like that theory, Dan. A little bit of passive aggressiveness, you think, going on. A little bit of...
Because he's scared of her, isn't he?
Yeah, there is that. I mean, it's obvious it's deliberate. It's obvious that that name was given. People have known Harry for years not to be Wales. You can say, oh, it's the commentator, but they had plenty of time from calling him Harry Wales when he first went onto the pitch to have it corrected before the end. You would have thought that Harry would have gone, oh, no, get that changed. He didn't, which means he clearly was happy with being called Wales. So, yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of column A and a bit of column B. Yes, I do believe, I think that's a great theory, Dan, that he could just be doing it to show a little bit of balls towards his wife, saying, you know, I don't want to be known as Harry Sussex. But then, yeah, at the same time, it's definitely going to infuriate Prince William. This is the name that his children go by. This needs nipping in the bud. I don't know what it will take.
It's humiliating. It's humiliating for Meghan. It's humiliating for the royal family. But I can't believe that she spent such a big part of the year, Tash, going on about this goddamn last name. You know, first it was with Mindy Kaling, and that was really the lead story from the With Love Meghan launch. They knew that was going to be the big mic drop moment, you know, her berating this Hollywood comedian for getting her name wrong and hoping that the world would stop calling her Meghan Markle, when in fact the only people who have are the total shills. People like Narinder Kaur now call her Meghan Sussex. No one else is buying it. But then do you remember she even sat down for that Bloomberg interview months later in Montecito and kept on going on about the last name. But we knew it was bullshit, and clearly Harry knows it's bullshit too.
There was a big thing, wasn't it, that they wanted to make sure that their children's passports reflected the name Sussex, Prince and Princess of Sussex, that Meghan wanted to make sure she did go on a bit, didn't she, about the importance of sharing the last name with their children. And we thought at the time perhaps it was because they've caught wind that they will lose the title. So now Meghan is trying to cement the name as her children's actual surname. And then for Harry, obviously, Harry doesn't care if he's got the same surname as his wife and children, if you take it as he's now insisting that he's called Wales somewhere. It's certainly a mic drop moment. Could it have been done by Harry for extra attention? Could it be done him flipping, as it were, the middle finger to his wife? Could it be to upset the royal family? Perhaps it's a little bit of everything, but it certainly undermines Meghan this year, constantly going about the importance of taking the name Sussex as a surname. And Harry's like, just call me Harry Wales. Yeah. I can't imagine what it would be like to be a fly on the wall when he got back after that trip.
What are you doing to me? What are you doing to me?
Yeah.
But Tash, let's take a look at Harry during this event, because a lot of people were saying when this video came out yesterday, Tash, that he was looking pretty bleary-eyed, looking pretty wired, quite surprised that he would be in front of the cameras in that sort of state. Tom Sykes of The Royalist, who was on the show yesterday, suggested that perhaps this could be down to legal drug use because, of course, marijuana is now legal in California. But it was just really surprising, wasn't it, to see Harry looking worse for wear, but at the same time, so much more relaxed than when he is in public with his wife.
Yeah, it's a tough one, really. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't like to speculate
No, of
with
course not.
Harry. Perhaps he's just got a cold because there
Totally.
was so much snow on the
Totally.
slopes, you know? But he does behave very differently when he's not with Meghan. But if Meghan was there, she would have been straight on that stage, shoving people out of the way, making sure that she was the center of attention. And Harry almost seems quite happy to take the back seat with other people. He's not actually, unless he's with Meghan, he does let people, he does stand in with other people side by side, whereas before Meghan pushes him to the front so they can be the center of attention. And Harry, he's just, it's hard to say because he's so different from the man that we thought who he was before he met Meghan. And we've seen this gradual, well, I suppose in one way it's been rather quick, but someone who was incredibly confident to someone now who doesn't look that confident. Harry just seems like he'd rather be blending into the background. Relaxed, yes, there is that, but also someone that perhaps doesn't seem quite as confident as he was all of those years ago. So yeah, I guess Meghan's finally beaten the last shred of confidence out of him, and now he just looks like a he looks like he's unkempt a lot of the time, doesn't he? He looks just like he's just got out of snoozing in the back of the car when we see him. He definitely looks like that he could be medicated one way or another.
And Tash, lots of people just really finding the timing of this trip bizarre anyway.
Mm.
You posted this close to Christmas and he doesn't take the children? All the fun he had as a child on the slopes, skiing with his parents, yet he doesn't take his own kids to do fun activities. They have nannies. Leave the kids with nannies whilst playing polo or let them watch their dad play. It's so bizarre. And do you think this is all down to his total obsession with the children not being seen, or is there something deeper here?
I mean, it's becoming more obvious that there's something definitely not normal with not seeing the children anywhere. He never takes them to watch him play polo, but's quite happy to pose with other people's children. And polo is quite a family orientated event, but there's never any paparazzi photographs. Now, I know America, USA, Australia, they have stricter laws, but you've got a lot of foreign paparazzi that do not have that. They take the hit, they publish the pictures and worry about a lawsuit later. But there's never anything. They never seem to be taking the children anywhere where they can be spotted by paparazzi, by members of the public. You don't even get shots of the children with their faces pixelated. The only photographs we ever really have of the children are the carefully curated, completely contrived ones that Meghan obviously has released, or if they're trying to merch something, a surf school, for example. And the children, this isn't just their little babies and toddlers anymore. This has been a large number of years. And I do understand why there are so many conspiracy theories out there, but I also think that Harry and Meghan are fueling them, perhaps on purpose, perhaps it is Harry's own paranoia, but by hiding the children in the way that they do and never taking them somewhere like skiing, they would have loved doing that as he did as a child. I think that he is creating more of a media target on his children's backs than what he ever had put on his as a child, with his mother and his father and being born into the royal family. He is going to create those children's lives to be in utter paranoid misery, because once they do get old enough to go out, then it's going to be a field day.
Totally. I mean, I could not agree more in terms of that analysis, Tash. And again, I just looked at this video and I looked at Harry and what he thinks is him and his element. But I thought, God, you're actually a really sad man. You're a sad man now. I mean, it's ironic. He called me a sad little man. I look at his life and I view him as a sad little man now. His world has become small. He has become little. And these were types of events that you could get away with as a hardworking royal whose primary focus was humanitarian, whose primary focus was trying to do good in the world. And now this is his primary focus. And it's sad.
Yeah.
It really is sad. But look, the other thing that is absolutely terrible, Tash, and we have new developments on this, is the treatment of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, of Thomas Markle, Meghan's father, who remains in a hospital in Cebu in the Philippines just before Christmas. And you'll remember that at the weekend, it was actually Meghan Markle who briefed to Roy Anika, the royal editor at the Sunday Times, that the relationship with her dad was over for good. The story was vile. It made it clear that Meghan had berated her father in this letter, hadn't provided any hope that there was a path back to reconciliation, a path back for him to meet his grandchildren for the first time one day. And Thomas Markle Jr., Meghan's brother and Thomas Markle Sr.'s son, has now responded to this on his own YouTube channel, Thomas Markle Jr. and Friends.
This moment is the match that lights the fire. Harry is publicly introduced as Harry Wales, a name he has not used in years and one that now belongs, symbolically and officially, to Prince William and his children. This is not accidental. This is not ignorance. This is provocation. Allowing this name to be used, without correction, is a direct intrusion into William's territory and a challenge to the next generation of Wales children. Only months ago, Meghan Markle was publicly scolding people for not calling her Meghan Sussex. Now suddenly, Harry abandons Sussex the moment it suits him. The contradiction is glaring. The timing is humiliating, especially for Meghan. This single moment undermines an entire year of Sussex rebranding. Harry appears, without Meghan, without the children, on a boys' trip, looking loose, relaxed, and oddly carefree. This is not the tightly choreographed Sussex image. This is Harry unfiltered, and that's precisely why it's dangerous for the Sussex brand. The most damning part? Harry never corrects the announcer. Not once. Not backstage. Not later. This wasn't a slip, it was allowed. Which means Harry was either enjoying the name, or using it deliberately. Either way, the message is explosive. Wales is not just a surname, it's a future crown brand. Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis are the Wales children now. Harry stepping into that name again is territorial interference, whether he admits it or not. This is why commentators say, this needs nipping in the bud. One theory cuts deeper than all the rest. Harry may be humiliating Meghan publicly. After months of Meghan insisting on Sussex as identity, Harry stands on a global stage and says, without words, "Call me Harry Wales." That is either rebellion, or resentment finally leaking out. This segment reminds viewers just how obsessed Meghan has been, berating Mindy Kaling, lecturing interviewers, demanding public compliance. And now, Harry detonates the whole thing in seconds. If this wasn't intentional, it's reckless. If it was intentional, it's marital warfare by microphone. The discussion shifts to the Sussex children, passports, titles, surnames. The suspicion: Meghan wanted Sussex locked in before titles are stripped. Harry's Wales moment now undermines that entire strategy. Viewers couldn't help noticing Harry's appearance, glassy-eyed, dishevelled, strangely detached. Speculation swirls, legally, socially, behaviourally. What stands out most? He looks more relaxed without Meghan than with her. That contrast speaks volumes. Without Meghan, he doesn't push to the front, he blends into the group, he allows others to shine. With Meghan, he's repositioned, managed, directed. This fuels the growing belief that Harry has shrunk, not grown, in this marriage.
I just find it really disgusting. Disgusting that somebody has to steal the spotlight and try and get attention. Because what? I mean, from what I understand and read in what was it, the London Times, she wants nothing to do with her father ever again. Ever.
Thomas Markle Jr. revealed that not one dime from Meghan's fat-ass purse has been sent to pay for her father's medical treatment. Watch.
The hearsay and the fake news about donated a large sum of money to the hospital. Well, no, that never happened. You know, that would have been nice the other day when I had to go in there and pay, another $3,000 and then sign a promissory note for another $2,000. That would have been nice had those just been all just like brushed away. I would have been like, no way. There is no way any of that crap could be true. And no, I was right, because it's not. Not one nickel. Not one nickel. From the swamp donkey. Nothing. Which is just mind-boggling. I want to make it very clear that the entire world knows. Not one nickel. Not one nickel. Even after the, $500,000 that my dad broke his ass for her clothes, her partying money, her partying supplies, her cars, her entertainment, her private schools, her trips, her college. I mean, come on. Oh, Daddy, you took some pictures with the paparazzi and you talked to the press. Just like I do every day, but you're not allowed to. Seriously, that's the reason. Unbelievable.
And Thomas wanted to make sure that the point had reached yours truly.
Make damn sure, especially Dan Wooten, right? Because you take every one of my videos, and a lot of other people do. But make damn sure that you pointed out. I want to be very, very specifically clear on this point. Not one nickel. Not one nickel.
Trust me, Thomas, we get the message. We get the message loud and clear. She is tight, and she's treated your dad terribly. Indeed, Thomas here illustrates his despicable half-sister perfectly.
To walk around with that blank, empty, soulless eye look, like no matter what picture it is, it's like, every picture she takes has the same empty, soulless, black, empty eyes. There is nothing behind those eyes.
I mean, Tash, I do think what is important here is for Thomas Markle Jr. to just paint the reality of the situation the Markle family continues to face. And that reality is they're going in, having to try and find money to pay for Thomas Markle's hospital bills. The treatment ain't cheap. And that, to me, is an extraordinary moment, because think about this, Tash. Meghan had the ability, in order to get the letter into the hospital, she had the ability to get someone to film her father in the hospital bed. So she's dealing with the hospital staff, according to Caroline Graham in the Mail on Sunday. It was the president of the hospital who actually came into the room unannounced, even though Tom had his amputated leg on display. She had to cover it for dignity. Now, there would be something pretty easy that she could do if she was half decent, remembering the type of money that she's made, Tash, over the past 5 years, even though we think they're pretty tight because of their lavish spending. She could easily have said, and all the hospital bills come to me. And it would still be a tiny drop in the ocean for her. And I think that's why Thomas Markle Jr. is making this point. Sure, there has been communication, but there hasn't been a nickel.
I mean, I cannot well, the anger and the frustration he must feel anyway, because Meghan has turned this whole thing into being about her. The amount of coverage that she's had since their father went into hospital, nearly died, had his leg amputated. It's become yet again the Meghan Markle show, because she is the one that has been briefing the press every step of the way. She's the one that told the media that she will be writing a letter. We were then told it was a handwritten letter. We were then told by her spokesperson that the letter had been safely delivered. Then we were told by her spokesperson, the public were then informed, the contents of the letter through Roya Nicker. Then it was of course posted through various outlets that Meghan has made it very clear that she will have nothing to do with her father. So Meghan has played this game. She's done nothing but continuous press releases. There has not been a teeny fragment of concern or care for her father. Now, I said this in one of my videos because I was so angry. The man is still in hospital. He has got a weak heart, and he is still receiving treatment. And I mean, I hope not, but it could turn at any day. She then stressed him out by telling the world, and he would have been reading this on his phone, that he was going to finally hear from his daughter, to have the officials come into the hospital to see him. The stress that that would have caused him to only then be dumped cruelly by his daughter, and it then to be worldwide news that she wants nothing to do with him. She's used that letter to vilify him whilst he's still lying in a hospital bed. And it's her relationship with her father. No one should pressure Meghan. If she doesn't want to speak to him, then don't speak to him. But she's the one that made a big deal about reaching out to him, only to further potentially damage his health. That could have been enough to cause more stress on his already fragile heart. And even if she just goes, right, I don't want to speak to him ever again, she could have just paid the medical bills. The very least. The difference of paying his bills isn't just clearing the balance so other people don't have to pick it up. It's the difference of giving him perhaps even better medical care. He might be able to pay for an extra specialist or a different type of treatment. There could be lots of things, even when it comes to him having physio to have prosthetic limbs. There's lots of things that she could do. And given Harry's charity work, working with organizations and charities that deal with prosthetics, you think there would have been a tiny bit between either of them to say, look, at the very least, we don't want contact, but we will cover this. They know he's got no money. They know that he moved to the Philippines probably so he could have better and cheaper medical care compared to America. And yet it shows the void of where Meghan's heart used to be. And I'm in doubts that she ever even had one.
Totally true, Tash. As a more positive note to end on, what did you think of the Christmas card coming from the Prince and Princess of Wales featuring the whole family, Tash? I think it was shot earlier this year.
Yes, it was. I thought it was lovely. It's part of a big photo shoot that they had done in spring. They have gradually been staging the photographs, releasing the photographs from this by photographer Josh Shinner. And we've had lots of photographs. You know, it's from the same photo shoot because of the background and the clothes that they're wearing. But I honestly think it's lovely. That was very sweet with Princess Charlotte with her head on her father's shoulder. They're such a cute family, and I'm personally still really grateful. There were some people complaining that it wasn't festive enough. I mean, I really don't care. It's not whether they're wearing Christmas hats. It's about sharing this intimate family moment with the public. And given the way that mainstream media treated her, which I will never forgive them for, over that Mother's Day photograph, they're very lucky that they even get a photograph released at all, really, of this family. So I still think it's a lovely thing for them to have released for everyone. They know it makes royal watchers extremely happy. And those children, I cannot believe how quickly they are growing. As I said, Charlotte and George, a teen and a tween as of next year. The time really is flying, Dan.
It really is. It really is. Tash, thank you so much. And of course, if you do want so much more royal analysis,
This is where discomfort sets in. Harry never takes the children to polo, never skis with them, never appears with them publicly. Yet happily poses with other people's children. No paparazzi shots. No blurred faces. Only carefully curated releases. The secrecy isn't protecting the children, it's fueling suspicion. The commentary turns brutally honest. Harry's world has shrunk. His purpose has evaporated. His life revolves around events, optics, and escape. Once a working royal with direction, now a man drifting from one distraction to the next. The tone turns dark. While Thomas Markle lies in hospital, leg amputated, heart fragile, Meghan briefs the press, leaks letter details, controls the narrative. But according to Thomas Markle Jr., not one nickel has been paid toward medical bills. The cruelty here isn't just emotional, it's financial. This segment devastates Meghan's image. A woman who lectures the world on compassion won't pay her own father's hospital bills. The contrast is impossible to ignore. And the anger feels justified. The most chilling accusation, Meghan raised hope, then crushed it publicly. That emotional whiplash, delivered to a man in a hospital bed, is framed as dangerous, possibly even life-threatening. The segment closes with a stark comparison. William and Catherine, quiet, stable, united, child-focused. No lectures. No leaks. No manipulation. Just dignity. This wasn't a harmless polo slip. It was a jab at Prince William, a humiliation of Meghan, a crack in the Sussex facade, and a reminder that Harry no longer knows who he is. Harry Wales wasn't a mistake. It was a message. Now over to you. Was Harry using Wales to provoke William or punish Meghan? Do you believe this name slip was deliberate? Is Harry freer without Meghan, or simply lost? And should Meghan have paid her father's hospital bills? Drop your opinion in the comments. Like if this breakdown said what mainstream media won't. Share if this moment changed how you see Harry. Subscribe for uncensored royal commentary and analysis. This story isn't about a name. It's about identity, control, and collapse.